A Turkey Day tradition returns to Motown. It's the coach. This is a special holiday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, it will be the 79th Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit as the Lions get set to play host to their NFC North rivals, the Chicago Bears. I'll see you again at halftime. But first, we're off to Ford Field, standing by our two turkeys, and I mean that in the best possible way, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Chicago Bears. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Time to take you back into the ball game. It's a red zone alert as this defense faces a 1st and 10 in the final minute of the opening quarter.
Set. 180.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Set. 280.
Riddick with a carry. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. Coming up here, this defense looking for a third down stop in the second quarter. On third down, Trubisky. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And all the way in. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Second and 10 now. It's Trubisky. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Bears on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Again, it's Trubisky. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Allen Robinson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about...
Let's get back to the action. This defense will need to string together a few stops here as they defend a 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are in for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Time winding down here in this first half as we get you back out to the action. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. First down. Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. He's going to look deep down, and this is taken in at the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll run for it with Tariq Cohen. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his back.
We drop you into the action here, neck and neck, tie game, 3rd quarter, 3rd down. Can this defense get the stop? From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got Miller. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That'll put it. Time to jump back in. Opening drive, 3rd quarter. And this offense has it in the red zone, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Again, it's Cohen. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Bears have broken the tie. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken. He always... Time for this defense to try and stiffen as they'll try here to defend a 1st and 10 situation at their own 17-yard line.
Set, waiting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Set. Waiting.
Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. The Lions on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Now it's Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that'll bring him back within 4. This defense in need of a big stop in a tight game in the 4th quarter. Let's see if they can get that stop they need.
180.
Looking to throw again, Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
We drop you back into the action in a 1-score game. This defense needs to get a stop. They need to get the ball back to their offense and get down and score. On 1st down, Stafford here. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. And Stafford's in some pain, apparently. Yet to arise following the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Castle going to throw for the first time since coming on. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now Castle. It's caught. Jones. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down.
Here we go now. Blue Navy.
They'll set up a throw. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Luke Wilson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Pretty tense spot here for this offense. A field goal would tie, a touchdown would win it, but they've got to move that football. Good news for them, they do have all 3 timeouts remaining. Back to throw. Being chased out left. He's going to let it fly. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 29. A huge play there for Chicago. 46 yards. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Taylor Gabriel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up.
So the picture becoming pretty clear here. The defense just looking for a stop because a touchdown, and they would trail on the scoreboard. They're hoping to preserve this slim 1-score lead. He's back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jones. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Hurry up, here we go.
He'll look to throw. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Back to throw. The left side completion to Jones. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pickup there at 22. They'll look to throw. Now the ball comes loose, and this is picked up by the Bears. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball, so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They go with Howard again. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. The offense on third down tonight, they've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Chicago, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face the Giants next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now on the year. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams.
Want to see what happens next? Choose yes to continue playing this team season.
One down, 2 more to go this Thanksgiving. It's the coach. This is a special holiday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, it's a tradition that started back in 1966. Football in Dallas on this special Thursday. And we've got a good one between the Cowboys and the Washington Redskins. From our EA Sports family to yours, happy Thanksgiving. As we send things out to our commentators, the best in the biz, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Washington Redskins. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Still 0-0 here in quarter one, but an early test to check in on as we've got a third down situation looming.
Now let's go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is is incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome set.
Opening drive of the game, and the football belongs to the Dallas Cowboys. Here we go.
Hey, kill.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. A good move, but not much room to run. Brought down at the 5. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So first and 10 now from the 30. A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 23 carries, 122 yardage-wise, and a score as well.
And even though it's a short week, running backs love when they're in a groove, and that's exactly where he is right now. He's hoping to feast a little bit more here on Thanksgiving.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very, it looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, grab that dagger play, grab that play and just finish him off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Back-to-back nice gains, that one for 14 yards and another first.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
You know, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker, can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? A really good pickup of 28 yards. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
No, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. Now Elliott. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Here's Prescott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Allen Hurns, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys are in for 6.
When you give up a long touchdown drive, you're looking for a silver lining. In this case, it's the fact that your offense had a chance to rest, and now they can come out and feel charged up and ready to go.
Coming up here, this defense looking for a third down stop in the second quarter.
Now let's go. Green.
To throw on third down, McCoy. And this is going to be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game?
Second quarter, this defense looking for a big third down stop here. They're already down on the scoreboard, just trying to get the ball back to their offense. On third down, it's Prescott. Cooper's got it. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss, really. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. A diving catch for the score he laid out. That was special.
And you know the first thing they're going to check, right? Did he complete the process of the catch? All the way through, all the way to the ground. Ball doesn't hit the ground without control.
Just above 1 minute remaining here in the second quarter. This offense looking to get down at least into field goal range, but they're starting on their own side of the field. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Trying for Cooper again. This time he finds it. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Airing it out for Hearns. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 36 yards. from the red zone now. Prescott. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. They'll throw again. Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost...
So a big third down coming up here for the defense, trying to preserve a very slim lead in the third quarter.
Here we go now. 3:19. 3:19.
Back now here on EA Sports. The key coming up here, preserve the lead for this defense. Fourth quarter, close game. Third down, here we go. From the gun on third down, McCoy. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. David Irving. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up fourth down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
This defense in need of a big stop in a tight game in the fourth quarter. Let's see if they can get that stop they need.
Here we go.
third and short yardage. Prescott. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. A solid drive here has this offense in really good position. Can they finish the drive off? Let's find out. It's 1st and 10 inside the red zone. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 12 more yards there and another first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Prescott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. Fourth quarter, tight spot here. Kicking team down by 3, going for the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And
a lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
they were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Cowboys, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. And for Charles...
Choose to continue your season and play more games with your team.
A good one to wrap up Thanksgiving night. It's the coach. This is week 12 of the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight, after our yearly trips to Detroit and Dallas, this year we head down to New Orleans, where the crowd will be rocking as their Saints take on the Atlanta Falcons. I'll see you again at halftime. But first, we're off to the Superdome. Standing by to call all the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Atlanta Falcons. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They've been flawless these last couple months, winners of 9 in a row.
And that's the kind of streak you don't see too often in today's NFL since there's so much parity. So the way they've played has been truly remarkable.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point. But boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is.
Still scoreless here in the first, but a third down situation forthcoming. Let's get into the action. On third down, Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A pretty big early test for the defense coming up. What can they dial up here to try and thwart this third down situation? Breeze now. He's got a man open. That's Marshall. That goes for a gain of... Into the red zone, it's Breeze. That's caught, it's Thomas. And he is into the end zone, touchdown New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. And there they got him the ball, just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
We've got an offense on the move, a red zone alert as we take you back into it with a 1st and 10 down at about the 12-yard line. Throwing on 1st down is Breeze. Escaping the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. That'll bring up 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Lutz puts this one through. And they push the... Coming up here, this defense looking for a 3rd down stop in the 2nd quarter.
Got it. White 25. Got four down. 25
On 3rd down, Ryan, and finding the tight end Hooper. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. A red zone alert. Let's jump back in here. 1st and 10 at the 16. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They go play action for Ingram. Now Breeze. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Breeze going to throw. And that's incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Lutz's kick is good. And that'll open the lead up. We have a red zone update. This defense stacked up here with a 1st and 10 inside the 15. From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Ryan will throw again. That's complete right around the 8. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper as the first half is winding down. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, where they want.
Time to jump back in. Opening drive, 3rd quarter. And this offense has it in the red zone, 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Benjamin Watson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have moved out in front. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily, that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap, and they exploited it.
So the task for this offense is preserving this lead. It's a tight game late, and the defense also, keep in mind, they do have 3 timeouts. Breeze now on first down. Looking for his big receiver. And got his man complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Breeze is looking to throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like he said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Fourth quarter, tight spot here. Kicking team down by 3, going for the onside kick. And the Saints are going to get to this one, so that should about do it. The risk-reward of the onside kick. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Saints, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And now they get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now on the year. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town.
Want to see what happens next? Choose yes to continue playing this team season.